Lots of testicles, raccoon testicles. Ooh, ow, ooh. Woof. It's that time of the month again. That sounds like I'm on my period. Hi, hello, it's your boy Nate. I read books because reading is sexy, and if you're not reading, you're not sexy. Sorry to tell you. Here we are. July is done and over with. Not a lot of reading. We did okay, but spent July hungover. a lot of recovery. Recovered a lot. We've got a Coke here to talk to you about some books, some movies as well. I feel like I haven't done a movie update in a while. And why am I still holding this cocoa? Anybody else? Okay, hangover cure, I don't know what it is, but I always feel like I need a Coke. Or if it's like summer I just get like huge craving for Coke, just like a big cold one. And then every time I drink one, I feel like I'm Joan Didion, because that was like her breakfast drink. Like she would religiously drink a this should be Diet Coke in a big glass, drink it and write. Yeah, that was a breakfast. Diet Coke breakfast. Get on some Joan Didion shit. Okay, put that down. We read a total of 8 books for July, and this is mostly because a lot of them were thickies. Yeah, we did some thick reads. Okay, let's get into it. As always, these will be flash reviews of the books I've read, and in future vlogs, you'll see in-depth reviews of these books, so stay tuned, bookish babes. Started the month strong with a Libby loan of Milk Fed by Melissa Broder. No surprise here, I loved it. I'm just a biased Broder stan. It was just equal layers of Broder at her saddest and Broder at her funniest. Okay, not saddest, but like her intimate self. Broder has what you would, I think, describe as an eating disorder. She mentions it a lot on her podcast, Eating Alone in My Car. And that entire podcast is essentially this book in fiction form. Broder at her most honest while also juggling fiction, lesbian love, and humor. Like, it's funny. There's some good funny bits in it. And some steamy bits too. Loved all the steamy bits. But my Broder tier list stands as now as number 1, Milk Fed, number 2, Death Valley, number 3, The Pisces. Yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, next, did a buddy read with Alex of Call Me By Your Name. I'll leave his Instagram handle down below. He's cool. I've been meaning to reread this for a really long time, and he was telling me that he does like an annual rereading of this for summer, and it's gonna be my new ritual now. I'm gonna do an annual rereading of this every summer. It delivers. It still hits. Perfect summer vibes. Also because I'm still reeling. I'm still reeling, and I cried, okay? No surprise there. I think there will be footage. Maybe I'll post. Maybe I'll include in this video, who knows? But yeah, is it better to speak or to die? I'll talk about this later, this part later, because I also rewatched the movie. So we love the necrophilia. We love the pooping on poop, the poo-poo on poo-poo scene. Still feel a lot from this. I definitely looked more through the lens of Oliver this time around. I think when I first read this, I was stuck in Elio's POV for the most part. But this time, I took a bit of time to dwell in Oliver's perspective, and what a joy, what a joy. Yeah, found some new bits in this reread, and can't wait to see what I find next year. But yes, Call Me By Your Name. Andre Aciman, yes. Then, we read Rouge by Mona Awad. This is getting its own separate vlog. Beg for it, people, beg for it, but don't beg too hard, because I like filmed my review of it like 5 times because this, woof. Yeah, it went there. It went there. Weird, wacky. Feels like the first 15 minutes of Dario Argento's Suspiria. Dizzying, woozy, fever dream of a book. And for Awad fans, I think you'll really, really like this. But beg for the vlog. Don't beg too hard, but come on and beg for it. Will be released sometime within the month of August. I'll let you know. Rouge, Awad, look out for the vlog. Okay, then I did a buddy read with Kat from Kat's Field Notes. We did our first Murdoch, Iris Murdoch. We popped our Murdoch cherry. The Sacred and Profane Love Machine. Boy, oh boy, this was a neurotic Freudian train wreck of some of the worst people, but it's fun. It feels like a soap opera, and y'all didn't have soap operas, like good ones, did y'all, in the 50s, 60s? I can imagine just like hopping into a Murdoch and being like, ooh, ow, ooh. She did that. She did that. Really fun. It's a man, 2 women, and a group of friends that really shouldn't be involved, but they are, and they love each other, they hate each other, they tear each other apart, and just like the last 100 pages is like a roller coaster of just like screaming. I was screaming. I was throwing the book across the room. I was just like, ah! Oh my god. Fucking wild. I hear that all of Murdoch's books are pretty different from each other though. This one was definitely like more focused on character, and that was a lot of fun. And I really want to look more into her philosophical inquiries. So yeah, if anyone has any Murdoch recs on what I should read next, like the one after this, which one should I immediately read next? Let me know. I'm down. Kat, lots of fun, voice notes all over the place. We were cackling. We had a good time. We had a good time. This was a lot of fun. Iris Murdoch, Sacred and Profane Love Machine. Okay, then on the Kindle, we had an ARC of People Collide by McElroy. Is out by Harper Via, September 26th. Look out for it. I think it's gonna end up in my top 10 for the year. It's just really, yeah, I've never read anything quite like this. It's a lot of fun. It's basically a Freaky Friday of Jeffrey Eugenides' The Marriage Plot. So if you're looking for a gender bender marriage story, this one does a very, very good examination of that on husband versus wife, internal feelings, man versus woman, reciprocation, on children, on the future of marriage, on the self, on being selfish, being selfless, and just overall a wild, wild ride. It takes a bit of time to get into, but okay, the book is sort of split into 4 parts, and I'll say by the second part, it really takes off. Some of the freaky shit goes on, and yeah, one of my, I think, favorite sex scenes of the year. Yeah, it has a really good long sex scene. There's only one, I think, but it's a good long one. Really hot, really steamy. Look out for it. People Collide, McElroy. After that, I was so tired of like big reads. Like Rouge was a lot, this was a lot, and I was just like, let me slip into some quickie. Let me get some quickie action. So I did Alfian Sott's Collected Plays 1. This includes the Optic Trilogy, Fugitives, Homesick, Sex, Violence, Blood, Gore. Looks at life in Singapore, wanting to become an expat, extracting yourself from Singapore and looking down at the country from a bird's eye view. Alfian Sott is honest with his perception of it. I was hoping for a lot more gay stuff. Collected Plays 2 was really, really gay and really, really great. This one, not so much, but I really enjoyed the Optic Trilogy. That one just takes you by surprise with some of the direction and dialogue that takes place. Fugitive and Homesick really focus on what I talked about with looking at Singapore as a country. And then Sex, Violence, Blood, Gore, a collection of scenes of different plays that are a bit experimental and feel strange and disconnected from each other, but sort of speaks to the ethos of Saat's work. But overall, it was really nice to just zip through some plays and look at dialogue, and yeah, really fun. If you're looking for some sing-lit, I definitely recommend going to Alfian Saat. Okay, and then gifted to me by the lovely Renee from So I Read This Book, we have A Sport and a Pastime by James Salter. Cover, so sexy, done by Richard Diebenkorn. I had no idea. It's so good. This is actually a reread. I read this when I was like early 20-something, and I was really focused on like prose. So during that time I was like reading Carver, Didion, other stylists, I forget. On second reading, I didn't realize what was actually occurring here, but I think it's quite brilliant. The story is told from an expat. We don't know much about him, but he basically follows this other expat and this French girl. The narrator's examinations of them are so intimate to the point where it's imagined. We don't know. It's real, we don't know, but he sits so closely to all of the action that occurs between them with, of course, the most brilliant sex scenes. I think Salter did such a wonderful job of realistically portraying sex in fiction and prose. It's some good lines in here, but yeah, still 3 stars for me. I think Salter was incredibly smart for including this very particular narration that, yeah, is very, very interesting. If you're looking for really, really good prose, if you like Raymond Carver, you'll really like James Salter. And this one's not to be missed, A Sport and a Pastime, James Salter. Last book of the month, collection of poems by Hyenmi, is Unexpected Vanilla, focuses on eroticism and nature, really experimental, examines body, touch through nature, but also the nature of the interior of the body. There's a lot of running themes of blood being trapped in the body, blood clots, blood clogging, blood rushes, sort of self-destruction within, and how that destruction interacts with nature and sort of the external world. So how does the internal world meet the external world through eroticism, nature, and the grotesque? Okay, now time to talk about some TV shows real quick. I finished Succession, finally, season 4. Wowzers, wowzers. That last episode, crazy. Do we agree? Do we agree with what happened? I mean, I don't think it could have ended any other way, honestly. Like, whoever got the got, and they deserved that got. Okay, and then I'm halfway through The Bear, which I'm really enjoying. I will say I didn't really enjoy the first few episodes. I think it's the Christmas dinner, the hour-long episode with like star-studded cast, not to mention the episode that came after as well. Just like, oof, brilliant. I won't even spoil who's in it, but like the person who played Carm's mom, and we love her. Oh my God, I didn't recognize her at first, but then when I realized who it was, I was like, holy shit, she's a totally different person. And this is like so fitting, and she did an incredible job. Enjoying The Bear a lot. And then as far as movies, let's see, we watched 11 movies. Started the month with Asteroid City. I love Wes Anderson. This, I feel, is no different from The French Dispatch. Feels a little more elevated than that, but we're playing again with like story within story. I think in Asteroid City, he does a really fine job of breaking the fourth wall, really communicating with us as an audience, and breakage of story, and yeah, I teared up. Really fun stuff with black and white and color. a classic, really tight, crisp Wes Anderson film. And then I watched Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny. This is whatever. It was whatever. But I'm a fan of the franchise. I love Indy. Yeah, this is all right. I had fun. It just felt like it was made by a fanboy, and a lot of time was devoted to the car chase choreos and fight sequences, which was fine. I just wish it was shot on film to just like respect Spielberg and his work. Beginning of the film starts out at night, so I mean that's probably, it wouldn't be worth it to shoot in film, but like that could have been shot digital, and then the rest of it could have been shot on film just to it would have been so good. But I will say some of those scenes, they're pretty fantastical, and I imagine being quite difficult and quite expensive to shoot on film. But like, again, so were the other indie movies, so it's like, come on, come on. Then I watched The Red Shoes, finally. I've only watched like clips of it, and yeah, what an incredible ballet film. So beautiful. And every minute of it is worth it when you get to the ballet sequence. Just really well done. Then I watched Angst from 1983. It's an Austrian serial killer movie. This is okay, but I think it's really interesting in construction. He gets let out of jail, and immediately he starts just speaking to himself, but actually to us as the audience, relaying history and sort of his upbringing and everything that's happened to him, while also at the same time on the hunt for his next kill. Yeah, some of the acting is quite subpar. You can tell it definitely didn't have enough finances. Kind of lackluster by the end, but I think like really interesting in construction. Then I watched The Music Room from 1958 by Satyajit Ray. So haunting, so beautifully done. And it looks so good in black and white. So good. It's about a man trying to upkeep legacy within this palace that he has. Music plays a large role in the storytelling that creates legacy and honors India and music in this like really beautiful way that just made me just awestruck. And it's a lovely, gorgeous film. Satyajit is really good at creating poetry within scenes and symbols and just like evoking all those feelings through images, and it's done beautifully well, and he's a great storyteller. Then I watched I Like Movies. This is a Canadian film, came out I think last year, and really charming, really cute. It just feels good to be back in an indie film. All the beats are there. It's funny, it's sweet, it's sad, and just delivers in really short time frame, and just really cute. If you love movies, you'll love this. Really honest feelings as a coming of age film. Follows a high school senior and think about what he wants to do and where he wants to go in terms of uni for film. I feel like I haven't watched a good young adult narrative film that was like honest since like 8th grade. So this was fun. And then, did anybody know there's a new Miyazaki movie out, but there was no trailer for it, there's no information about it, and yeah, Studio Ghibli just like dropped it. People went to see it. So I was getting mad FOMO, so I decided to watch Pom Poko, which is about this group of raccoons whose homes are being destroyed because of deforestation and the suburban monopoly of contemporary Japan. Definitely about what it means to advance through time, and what to do with you, your family, and your neighbors. Do you progress with society? Do you hold back and hold on to ideals? Is there a sweet spot in between those things? Beautifully done, and lots of testicles, raccoon testicles. Watch it for the testes. Do it, do it. Okay, and then I watched Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut, the great old cult classic film. At first watch, I thought it was all right, but then I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I mostly watched this film because it was mentioned in here and sort of deals with the same themes in terms of love, reliance on somebody, and what to do with that reliance. I think this was interesting. I thought there were gonna be more culty moments, but there's only like one scene that's culty. And pretty striking though, very haunting, especially the masks and such, and the atmosphere of it. Interesting Kubrick film. I love the lore behind it, being that it was Kubrick's last film, but he didn't finish making it, so it's sort of a rough cut of what he imagined the film to be, and we'll never know. We'll never know the actual film that he wanted to provide for us. After that, I watched Barbie. We did it, Barbs. We did it. Say what you will, I love this. I love the fuck out of this. I thought it was a bit clunky near the end. There were definitely like a lot of ideas that Gerwig had in mind, and I don't think she like fully sought them out, but she did what she did, and I think it's fine. Like by the end I cried, so something worked, right? And I feel like some of the funny bits were a bit overwritten. She's done it. She's saved cinema, y'all. Greta Gerwig has created a really fun movie that also has musical elements and pulls at the heartstrings and is smart. Is like really fucking smart. And like blockbuster level. Cultural shift. Let me tell you, cultural shift. I mean, I wish I had this film when I was younger, honestly. I totally think Ryan Gosling stole the show. I think like by the end, I totally forgot that like we were following Margot Robbie's storyline, but Ryan Gosling totally stole the show, and he does an absolutely great job at being Ken. I don't think anybody else could have done it. And then, yeah, did a rewatch of Call Me By Your Name for like the zillionth time, but I had to split up the film in 2 parts. I don't know. I'm reeling. I'm fine now. I'm better than I was when I saw this film. It was like last week, but I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm okay. At the portion of the film where Mom reads the story of the night to Elio about, is it better to speak or to die? I just bawled. I bawled. And I just had to stop the movie. I stopped the movie. I just like had a, you know, cute little cry sesh like right there. Let's be real. Is it better to speak or to die? I often think like all the things that I've reserved, all the things that I've left unsaid, all the things that I so much want to say, go unsaid. To save face, to like save myself from embarrassment, to save the other person from embarrassment. But yeah, is it better to speak or to die? I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Will say that the stuff that has been left unsaid has saved me from trouble. Will say that. But then with that comes with sort of the dredge of having to think about not having had said it for the rest of your life, if it would have altered anything. It's that woulda, coulda, shoulda. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. The alternate directions that turn life. Anyway, before I start reeling, yeah, and then finish the last half a few days after. Yeah, I don't normally do that for films, but for this one I just had to be really patient with myself and with the film. Beautiful as always. Love Luca. Can't wait for his adaptation of The Shards by Bret Easton Ellis. That one is gonna be so fucking sexy. And that tennis movie that's coming out too. Really curious to see how he does that. I don't get like Luca with it, like, but Luca in sports, like, okay. I'm still gonna watch it, but Zendaya, of course, fabulous. Okay, last but not least, don't want this to go on for too long. I did Love in the Afternoon, L'amour l'après-midi by Eric Romer, and this was really interesting. This is the last installment in his 6 moral tales. I don't think I've watched all of them because his films are like really hard to find for me for some reason. This one I actually really enjoyed. I don't know why. It was so captivating. Zuzu, yes, her name is Zuzu. Danielle Cielette. But yeah, she just plays the sexy femme fatale, if you will, really well. We follow a man and, yeah, his love for two women at the same time. Is one more equal than the other? Are they both equal loves? Who knows? But Homer does something really interesting in this that I've never seen before. I feel like his films like delve strictly in realism, but here there's a turn in the hypotheticals, in which there was a scene where he basically is sitting at a cafe and looking out the window at all these different women and just like wanting to love another woman while being in a marriage and committed. He, in these hypothetical situations, he meets these women and talks to them. And I don't think I've seen that in a Homer film before, but really interesting. Also feels like a major love letter to Paris and city life and what it means to live, breathe, and be alive in a city. And it's just beautifully done. I think just really equal parts Homer himself, but also love letter to Paris. Okay, I'm gonna have a field day editing this. Let me know what you read in, where are we? July, yes. And yeah, what were some of the bangers for July for you? What are you reading, sexy? What summer reading? Is it going sexily for you? Let me know. As always, be well, do good work, keep in touch.